Sorry, I'm 15 minutes late. Oh. I was doing everything in my power to be on time today. Hopped out of a call about 10 minutes to 2. But for whatever reason, my stomach just suddenly did not agree with me. And so now we're 15 minutes late. That may be too much information. And on that note, for those of you that are new here, welcome to Monsters and Memories development stream. Enjoy the VOD. It's afternoon. It's 2 p.m. for me. BDC Retro, good morning. Rev Chumley, good morning. Oh man, I'm glad my coffee stayed warm at least. I put a bowl over the top of it. I had just made my coffee and was just like, all right, let's get the stream going. And man, it my stomach was not happy. Okay, so enough of that. But this is a stream and thus a VOD about game development, and that's just the reality of game development. Sometimes you get an upset tummy. This is a game for humans, made by humans, and also a robot. I guess robot tummies are weird as well. Hey Big Al, what's up, buddy? Man, I'm looking forward to I wonder how broken the boat system really is. I'll have to ask Ollie. Cause it was really rad having a boat that you could hop on, and it was essentially we have a boat path that we were using that basically just lets you cruise the coast a little bit. Loving robots are people too. Exactly. Lets you cruise the coast a little bit. Boats are still KOS to Nick. I don't think that's a good enough excuse to keep him out of the game. Nick will just have to, I don't know, get more armor. Hey Justin Beard. I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, so on that note, we're gonna see how my stomach holds up now with the stream started. And if it gets wacky again, then I may just be like, well, I guess there's nothing wrong with being AFK for like 15 minutes. What do we want to do today? You know what I'm going to do in a minute or two? I'm going to make a new tune. I'm going to hop in. I'm going to be careful not to waste time on that new tune because we now have slash played so that we can see how long we've been playing our characters. And so I'm going to restart my legit play character. And but I'm going to log out of them whenever I'm actually not playing them. Hey, Cypher. Justin said, currently playing EQ2, deciding what coffee to get this morning. I pretty much always have the same instant. This big bucket of coffee is just some cheap old instant coffee with some milk in it. So, you've got an industrial container of loperamide? I don't know what that is. It sounds more like a chemical than a coffee. I'm going to turn off our YouTube music playing in the background so that we can hear the music in the game. And oh, I forgot I was on a call, so I turned this down earlier. All right, we'll turn it back up once we get in the game. Create character. Human. Kind of want to do the necromancer again. You know what? Let's make a Shadow Knight instead. Randomize real quick. Randomize, randomize, randomize. Oh man, the last one is actually pretty good. Randomize. This guy looks mean. Randomize, 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 randomize. Basically, I'm looking for scar. Maybe not the eyebrows. Not the eyebrow color was the problem. The eyebrows. That'll work. He's got a mean face. As a Leo SK. Great character. Okay, that's what it sounds like, Justin. I was like, it didn't sound like coffee. Anti-diarrhea medication. That's, yeah. Hey, organic cacao. Greetings. Justin said, I was playing EQ2 last weekend, found a heavy metal instrumental band that's into H.P. Lovecraft. Thought of you. Yeah, I started playing that on my phone in bed, and Jasmine asked me what that was. Hey, Ramez. So I'm gonna get this guy going. Let's get some audio going. And what I'm gonna eventually do is, hey Nicodemus. Are you guys awake? Did that door sound wake you up? So not only are NPCs invisible for me, the door's invisible. What the frick? And with both of those things in mind, is it actually there? Nope, it's gone, but it makes the noise. That was the door that you can't see. Is the other door? That was the door again. Every time the NPC walks through the door, it does some weird shit. I wonder if it's got to be updated on the server? Because it's not there on the client now. And I thought I went in the database and actually removed that sound so that we would stop hearing it, as entertaining as it is. Reload zone. Hey Sakaj. At least the ground is here this time. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I'm not a GM. Oh, the band's gonna send you a patch? Badass. Yeah, they seem like nice guys. So now the door's visible. Now the NPCs are visible. Alright. Progress. Have you guys seen this crazy gate that Pat has put in? Can't see it very well because I don't have a torch. I can't get in. Oh, I did it. I did it. Huh. Fair enough. It looks really nice though. This is not where I need to be for my first quest, but... well, she is horrifically spooky. Hey, Belfaster. Alright, so let me take a quick look. So we've started prototyping the spellbook a bit in terms of your ability to have multiple spellbooks on your person at the same time. So that's going to be some interesting iteration and stuff there in preparation for spellbooks as items. Let me go ahead and load these. 2. Justin said, love the music. It's timeless. I get excited every time I hear our music. Oh, happy St. Nicholas Day for those of you that are aware of it. If you're not aware of it, here's some. I got this in my boot earlier. I found it in my boot from Jasmine, some chocolate. And then here's some nuts and chocolates and oranges and stuff like that. Mainly the leftovers for the stuff that she got for the folks she worked with. She made little bags for them. Slam. Do 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 do. Let the boys be boys. Rev said that's gonna make the binder kids real happy with the color tabs. Trapper keep a dog. My trapper keeper. What do you keep in your trapper keeper? O-A-S-R-E-E. But I feel like I should be saying that completely differently. It's not Osred. How do I say your name? Anyway. OAS red. Okay, that makes a total sense to me now. Or just red. Word. This game is being built on Unity. And at least 1 out of 5 times I say Unreal instead of Unity. And we haven't figured out why. I've only ever worked on one game in Unreal. So, but it's Unity. It is for real Unity. Bring this note to Xavius Death Whisper in the Concourse of Souls to begin your training. I guess I will have to make that more flowery and stuff. I mean, to me, pretty straightforward, but it is not the most exciting text, I will admit. Red, thank you for the follow. Yeah, let me get my commands up. One day we'll spontaneously switch to Unreal. But the Unreal 5, it does all the things. Yeah, I don't know BDC Retro. I think it's going to take more than subliminal messages to be able to pull that one off. I think overall we're pretty happy with Unity. And I'm not just saying that because some Unity guys watch the stream. Red, it was easy for us to just get things up and running when we first started kicking things around. When it was just like 4 of us in the very, very beginning days of way back. It was just a hell of a lot easier for us to get up and running. And Ali, at the time the only programmer on the team was Ali before he expanded the team. And he was just like, hey, I think this is gonna be the easiest for us to work in. We talked about it a little bit, and within like a day of us going, hey, you want to make a video game together? And you know, the 3-4 of us going, did we just become best friends? It was just within a day of that, we're basically running around with a little capsule man. If you want to see what that looked like, if you go to our YouTube, right now the main sort of like thing, whatever the trailer that plays is actually our 2-year retrospective, and it goes all the way back from like day one, like, yeah, just boom. Oh, have you seen it? Okay, yeah, check it out. Hey, what's up, Dargith? And it basically, you'll see like some extremely humble beginnings all the way up through where we're at now, which is a humble, but I will say fairly awesome continuation of our beginnings. As you can see, we're very much still in development and early, but we're the humblest, Big Al. You know that's true. It is not a one-man project. Was that too loud when that fired off? Do I need to turn the volume down a little bit? Hey, Chat Solo. Fine, fine. Seemed okay. Okay, I'll do it. Maybe slightly Sakaj. You know what, Sakaj? For you, I'll nudge it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll see how it is next time. Man, he just fires the text out. Maybe I need to put longer delays in there. He said, "Welcome. We are looking to expand our ranks, but expect to be vetted. You'll need to prove to be a value beyond just your capability to survive the desert and deliver notes. Your loyalty will be tested. Night Harbor is far more than what shows on her surface." Alright, that's why I am not a voice actor. There you go. There's more words there, but you get the picture. Ooh. That just reminded me of like Scooby-Doo. Me and my shadow demon. Oh, imagine if we could make an NPC that looks like this. Zukin, if you're watching this, how do we make an NPC that looks like this? I think it would just be a shader, like a weird shader trick. Relative to the camera, maybe? Relative to a light source? That'd be wild to fight an NPC that looks like this. Have an invisible humanoid model, but which somehow still counts as solid for light. Dargith, I think that's it. Instead of Xavius Death Whisper says, it should be Xavius Death Whisper whispers. Oh my goodness. Are you going to make me open the database right now, Nicodemus? Alright. Son of a gun. Even if this doesn't stay in, if someone is like, that's so, that's a little too meta. I am putting it in the database right now just because that just gave me a giggle. Oh my goodness. Alright, so Xavius. When you hail him, instead of saying it, emote whispers. Yes, what is it? Alright, so maybe not the whole thing. Because then I'd have to go through and update all these. So if you hail him, Xavius Death Whisper whispers. Yes. What is it? Alright. There you go. Could be shouts. If a whisperer shouts, would it be a normal volume? It's like a giant dwarf. It's like Buddy the Elf if he was a dwarf, a giant dwarf. It's actually some young ogre that was just brought into a different family. Reminds you of an anesthesiologist you had for an operation once whose legit name was Dr. Sleeper. Destined for the job. I'm infatuated with the idea of how awesome would that NPC be, though? You know how they're like the shadowed men in EQ? This is completely not a priority on any checklist that we have, but we absolutely need to do this. I think you're right. I think some sort of a material or something to do, like basically we just make humanoid NPCs with some sort of a material that doesn't render but does block light for shadows. Hell yeah, shadow creatures, Nicodemus. Imagine going into a room and having to deal with these guys. And then depending on where the light source is, like right now the light's just kind of in the center of the room here, so it makes for some really fun stuff. But like imagine being in a room with torches. And you see them just kind of like running across on the wall next to you. Might not see them until they chase you and run past the light source. Yeah. It sounds like a shader. Yeah, I think that is the vocabulary I was looking for. Oh my. Big Al, yeah. Take this to Brazic, he'll get you started. Okay, I'm going the wrong way, I think. Imagine if monsters could react to shadows. It'd be an interesting one to figure out. Might get crazy too as people have torches. True. Okay, that's Buckmar. That's not who I'm looking for. I think this just takes me out the back door. No, it doesn't. Okay. Sekhmet's there. Okay, I'm in the wrong spot. Imagine that gameplay element needing special torches that emit the correct light to cast a shadow to see them. Yeah, I mean, you know, everything should still work though, like tab targeting and all that, right? You'll also see all group member shadows. Would that get confusing? It would, but you're fighting now this is actually a backdoor. You're fighting shadow creatures. Cacao, if you are fighting a shadow creature in real life, I would assume that deserves to be like a that should be some pretty sketchy stuff. Okay, that's Buckmar. I've been in here so many times, and I'm still just confusing myself. Okay. So you can see it's not just other games that I get lost in. I implemented this quest like a week ago for the all things Marvion, son of a... Who am I looking for? Brazik. I'm looking for Brazik. You can get lost in a circular room. It's worse. I'm apparently getting lost in like a square room. It's not even circular. What's so confusing about where this guy is? This quest is horrible. Oh, hi. Who wrote this quest? I blame that person for not being clear. Where could I find Brazik? Tell me. Why isn't there a wiki entry on this yet? Oh no. We've got the bug. It's hitting me as well. He can be found in the sleeping room. Apparently. Why? I should probably write that on the quest. He's in his chambers. There we go. You can find him in his chambers. Xavius whispers to you. Control F to use the glowing mystical path to guide you. Yet. Only Pattis can navigate this place without getting lost. We need to put that to the test. New challenge. Anything Pattis makes, he needs to show us that he doesn't get lost in it. Droop said, no control F or GPS map. What is this game? Puh. You should hop on the board and chew out the devs. Let them know they could do a better job. Yeah. When are you gonna add a map to your game, stupids? And Brazik could be laying in his bed telling the player, dude, let me sleep. What do you want? He could be, except we don't have we don't have the ability to make them play an animation yet. Also, I think he would just be looking dead in his bed at the moment, because I don't think we have a laying animation. We just have a dead animation. Which, when I get enough levels and enough cash to buy my spells, I'll have feigned death, and then we can see. Maybe you can hire an NPC or player to show you where Brazik is. Yeah. If only there were more players in the zone with me. Nope, it's just me. Farmer? You need some clothes. Whoa, shit. Okay, I need to report this. I've had a bug that's made this section of the zone disappear. It's like random sections just keep disappearing for me. Let me check my GitHub real quick and see if something's there. Let me revert. Discard all changes. Discard all changes. Do it. Alright, we'll come back to you. YouTube tutorial, where is Brazik? Soul, can I just call you Soul? Because I feel like I'm gonna mess up the second part of your name. Cool. Thank you for the follow. So, are you actually in Soul? No, that's your name. You're in Canada right now. Have you ever been to Seoul? My dad was stationed in Korea the year of the Seoul Winter Olympics, and he got to be part of the group that was training for security and stuff for it. They did some pretty interesting stuff, some pretty cool things. Yeah. It was interesting. The arena that at least part of it took place in was this, I think, like, if I remember correctly, it's like a big round arena, and they had people up on top of the arena, and they had trained to basically rappel in Aussie style. So rappel where you're facing down, so you're rappelling and you have your weapon out at the same time, moving in. Yeah, some really cool photos and stuff from there. Pretty dope. I have not rappelled like that. Seems like it'd be pretty interesting. You can try for the next Olympics. I'm pretty sure they don't need me helping for any Olympics. How old was my dad when he did that? I'm older than he is now. Or not, I'm not older than he is now. That would, I know we lived in Alabama for a while, but that does not make even that possible. I am older than now than he was during that. So where is this guy? Where is this son of a gun? I know he's somewhere around here. Is he invisible? Is he not spawning? Did something break? I'll stand right here and wait for him for a second. Yeah, so those of you that are new here, you can find us on our Discord if you have questions about the game that aren't answered by our FAQ. You can always check out our Discord. Hit us up there. The search functionality on Discord is also your friend. We've had a lot of really good discussions. Oh, hey. All right. We've got to fix this. So if you notice, the NPC is just basically walked from one level to next level to next level. And that's a byproduct of the fact that when we built the nav mesh last time, it is a shortcut. What it is we've added enhanced AI with the shortcut technology. We forgot to put that in our update, but that's what it is, guys. That guy, the guard has amazing core strength, didn't even flinch after falling 100 feet. In all fairness, that's probably just a solid 30 feet. The core strength was actually seen by the way he mountain goated himself on his edge of his heels right down the wall, right? Like he just eased himself down. Like he's got incredible heel strength, which is also a special attribute of the NPCs that we've added in the recent update. New heel strength technology. Okay, so what is this? He cons red to me. So this is the kind of quest that I put in game. This probably won't stay this way, but your Shadow Knights, basically your mentor as a Shadow Knight, says that you need to give this sealed scroll to this NPC. And so if you give it to him, as you're told, if you hail him, he says, "Get out of my sight, I have no time for you. But I've got to give you a note. I got to give it to you." Ah! He said, "Who sent you? What do you know of us? No matter, I'll deal with you myself." And then his aggro text is, You dare attack me? Don't you know who I work for? So trainer to zone. Yeah. So essentially I'm fleeing for my life now. I'm also confused because I don't know if he's about to pull a bunch of stuff after me. Apparently he does not have the heal strength needed to walk down that wall. Oh, so I can I'll finish my thought really quick. The reason why the NPCs came down there, it's just a bug. There he is. Look at this son of a bitch. He's just coming at me. I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run. Apparently not very fast. I feel like I'm running very slow. Alright. I'm running. And the sad thing is I'm running through a bunch of stuff that just wants to kill me at level 1. But this guy's absolutely looking to wreck me. Noel for Olympics marathon. Yeah, he's coming. He's not stopping. So I'm hoping I don't aggro any of this stuff that wants to eat me right now before I hit the zone line. Does he attack you because being a Shadow Knight is an illegal thing? I can't tell you that. I don't want to ruin the lore. Bullet Catcher, thank you for 9 months. He didn't even read the note. He did. Pretend he did. Okay, I had to zone. You ruined your class trainer. You'll not ruin mine. Exactly. Okay, zoning took me to character select, which at least seems safe. Fortress Shot Quills. I saw that you followed 18 hours ago over here. Thank you for that. Says, found this project after recently installing P99. Super hyped. Looks awesome. Thank you. Nola's in character select. Shut down the game. Wouldn't it be funny if he showed up right here and just started punching me in the face? Oh, man. Terrifying. We should add that feature. You can't escape me so easily. You're right. Maybe he should read the note. Why is it... The server shouldn't be down. Let me log into my other character and see what's going on here. All NPCs have mountain goat DNA is not the reason why that happened earlier. All right, I'm going to finally tell you after all of this suspense. When we built a nav mesh, I guess there's like a like a fall or jump distance, easy traversal distance. Let me test this and see what happened here. I'm going to try to zone on this guy as well and see if it breaks. Okay. So this is my other guy. What if Noel comes for this character too? Well then, I don't know that we have a count level aggro yet, but that may not be a bad feature. Fortress? Can I ask? You said you reinstalled P99. Did you play before? How long did you play for? Is Azrael wearing his Ring of Analogies? Not yet. You're never allowed to make an item with your own name on it. Since 2011 on P99. When did you stop then? Age of Conan had this quest where you carry a cursed item. It would randomly spawn NPCs that attack, wanting the item back. Pretty inconvenient during a raid. Yeah, so we've talked about having some cursed items as well. It'll be interesting. And also some really weird artifact items that require you to do things if you want to keep them. I've got overlapping music at the moment, so ignore that. That's a bug that I've discovered. If I stop and then start again. Oh, all right. So zoning actually is 2 for 2 on that. Let me just see if anybody is in our bug discussion. Just crashed to character select twice. Parentheses on 2 different tunes, trying to zone from Night Harbor to Shaded Dunes. Hard return. Overlapping music, chased by bards, the nightmare. Yeah. pure cacophony in terror. Yeah. So the idea was that there may be some items that are extremely rare, and I think was it Josh? Maybe it was like a Josh Strife Haze. Oh, Keith is going to restart zones. See what happens. I think he mentioned that that type of thing always sounds better on paper than isn't fun, but I disagree. Let's actually try it. So thinking about basically having like, you know, artifact items and things that are extremely rare, but then they do have requirements of you to maintain them. You know, it's like an item that may have really good benefits, but requires you to, I don't know, murder farmers or something, right? Like it talks to you, it tells you what it wants, and you have to regularly do it. Like you have to log in every day and murder at least one farmer as part of your day to maintain the item. And if you don't, kind of like the ring of power, it just will find its way out of your possession and boom. Noel is beating the crap out of the servers right now. He is very pissed off about that note. On a similar note, I always thought mobs should react to what army wearing Noel skin, aggroing Noels more than usual. Yeah, we've talked about faction items for disguises and things. And at one point we also did say monotonous, and it may have been a discussion we had on stream. We did talk about the idea of there being potentially like faction associated with having like if I'm wearing or carrying a guard's shield and I'm not part of the actual guard. Be interesting to see how we make that work, but that might be a fun thing to play around with. Scythe of Farmer Farming. It's the name of that cursed item is a bit on the nose, but hey. So Fortress said played from 2011 on P99, then camping IRC chat room of the project before P99 for years, then lives, then before that EQ didn't exist. All right. That is a history. I actually didn't know about P99 until I came back and started streaming EQ in 2020. Cool. Did everybody see the update? Have you seen the update that we published yesterday? Anybody not see the update? The CJack said, I ain't seen shit. What a potty mouth. Let me get some music in the background. So we'll make this all right, so I'll read it out so that you guys don't have to read it. But you realize if you get an email from us, and if you're a part of our mailing list, which you can sign up for here, you're Australian. Potty mouth is a racial bonus. I did not think you're Australian. I thought for sure you're just a random American. Okay. Now I've got a picture you with the accent and everything. Good eye. Brent. Oh wait, that's New Zealand. Really kind of the same thing though. All right, so let me read this really quick. But even if I read it to you, you should still go to your email that you use to sign up for our mailing list, all 2,300 of you, and you should click and open the email and click the link, because it, you know, we get those metrics. We get to see those metrics. But 50% of you, 50% of you opened the email. So that's actually pretty good. Appreciate that. The New Zealanders will have your skin for you for saying they're the same as Aussies. I can imagine that. The only New Zealanders I know of are the hobbits, probably the orcs that were in the movie as well, the guys from Flight of the Conchords, and a couple of UFC fighters. New Zealand is like Australia, but nicer. Interesting. Hey, Chinny D. You thought the Flight of the Conchords were French? No. No. Oh, Grinding Gear Games. Yeah, well, I thought there were a couple game companies there. Lucy Lawless is from New Zealand. Really? And here she is, featured in our update. What? Okay. Hey, T-Con. Speaking of T-Con, I was in the Evercraft online playtest the other day. Who asked me about that up there and I missed it because I was being beaten up by Noel? Who asked that? I'm scrolling up to see if I can find it. It was really early in the stream. Okay, I'm not going to find it, but if you asked it, you can ask again. Eco is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's fun stuff. It's fun stuff. Hidden and Modest and everybody there is really, really awesome. Though they were having a little bit of fun with Eminem in Eco. I'm going to assume it was playful. I'm going to assume they weren't picking on us. They weren't bullying us. But there was a little named rat that would appear called Fink in the newbie art. And Fink was wrecking people. And so and if you don't, here, I think I've got like a Eco command. Fink was the #1 killer in Eco. Yeah, he was pretty tough. There you go. There's a link. And so somebody said that Fink, he was killing people, Rev Chumley. Maybe you were overpowered. What class were you playing? So anyways, I watched him kill a couple people. Mage, yeah, you're probably broken. We got to nerf mages. Somebody post on the Eco Discord nerf mages already. And so Fink supposedly drops an item called Masters in Memories Design Doc. We saw them talking about it in OOC, and so then Luna and Pattis and I started killing Fink, trying to get our design doc back. And we were like, we need to get the design doc back. And then somebody from the Eco team said something about, don't worry, it's not finished. It's not complete or something, or it's missing pages. I was just like, are you trying to make fun of the fact that we do very little design documentation on this project? Eco guys, Eco, whoever stole our design doc and put it in there and then made this smart ass comment, don't make me put up 2 of these fingers. I will put 2 of these fingers up. Nah, so yeah, it was funny as shit. We were dying laughing. It was great. Eco Eminem crossover win? John asked. You never know. But anyways. No, we weren't playing the game Eco. Though it's a good game. It's a really good game. But Evercraft Online, the link is above. Or if you do the command Eco, it'll give you a new link. Droop said, love how you are coming out the gate with hoods. EQ still doesn't have hoods. Bums me out. Well, if any EQ people are watching this, now you know what the customers want. They want hoods. That's the benefit that we give all other MMOs at the moment, is we give out all of our cool ideas for free, right? There you go. If everybody if everybody just watches the stream, you get all sorts of wonderful creative ideas and great feedback directly from your target markets, right? And we don't mind. We don't mind. We're just gonna make a badass game. We don't care who does what. We got our business to deal with. We got to make our game. I'm trying to get my hoodie down. Okay, so anyways, update 26. We're thankful for another productive month, the fact that it's still sunny in game, and for all of you continuing to keep tabs on our progress. November is a wrap, and we've got 1 month left until 2023. Don't worry, there's not a lot of text. Well, there's a shitload of text, but it's all update stuff that you'll be interested in. This is just the fluffy part that we have to get past. A major goal for December is to get a small group of friends and family in to play with us to work the kinks out of our playtest pipeline. The hope is to quickly get to the point where we can then invite folks from the broader community in to test things with us while we continue to work on our proof of concept in 2023. This is in keeping with our approach of always gathering feedback from the community as we go and being open with our development process. You see, this test is not to be assumed to mean that we're close to alpha, nearing completion, or getting ready to go live in some capacity. We're not. We're not. We'll be naming, I believe, I don't want to spill the beans, but Nick had a good name for our, because we don't want to do like pre-alpha. Everybody does pre-alpha now. Pre-alpha is the new, I don't know what it actually is. I don't know where pre-alpha came from, but everybody's in pre-alpha now. We're not in pre-alpha. We're in development. So if we have a playtest, it's going to be a development playtest. You can come in while we're in development, right? Sound good? Cool. With that state, what? I need to fix this. This is a typo. No one pointed out the typo. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to bring up the actual... I'm going to bring up... Son of a gun. Okay, I'm going to bring it up over here. I'm going to edit as we go. Sometimes there's typos because we're in development. We're not in alpha, we're in sigma. When you first said that, Tube Master, I thought you said we're in ligma. And I was like, that's not nice. I don't even think that's an actual stage. It's just a disease. Let's see. Pages. Updates. Let's fix this beast. What about theta? I only know about thetans. Pre-thetan. Alright, let me fix this. With that stated, save. This is not just game development, it's game marketing website development. Boom. With that stated, fingers crossed, all goes well with this month, and maybe we'll get to test some stuff together in the not so distant future. Much like the quest I just did, I wrote this shit and I still like am stumbling through it. I'm like, who wrote this? All right, so let's go from here. Character art and concepts. We implemented a new hair option for the human male, worked on human female hairstyles, created, should that be style or styles? Let me update that as well. Here we go. We're doing it live, folks. We're fixing this live. Worked on human female hairstyles. There we go. Live debugging of the website. Boom. Refresh it. You can follow along as well if you want to open the website. Bump our stats a bit. 32,000 uniques so far this year. That's not too bad. Though I honestly don't know how uniques are being counted. It's probably just the same 15 of you just refreshing a bunch using some sort of a browser with no tracking cookies or something like that. Created a first pass skin base texture. Ongoing discussion. Texture style exploration and iteration for all visible armor slots. Visible item tooling. Our dressing room with concepting and discussion. Animation, human animation and animation system iteration, and crocodile animations started. All right. So playing with the hair system See, styles is correct because that's... Whoops. Got ahead of ourselves. I think we have more than one style, but... And so, the texture, you guys have been seeing, we've got a lot of discussion going on with textures. Because we're currently doing like this piecemeal, where we're overlaying like eyes and mouth and stuff like that. But you can see how it just doesn't necessarily blend in right here. So we're going to be doing a lot of iteration on the base textures. Yeah, she needs sleep. She's been killing monsters. She's busy lady. So, female, male dude, hoods, helmets, shoulders, capes. Though I think we did show these last month as well. Nice quick concept of changes to our dressing room tool. Idol. Crocodile. The Jack, since you're from New Zealand, you're probably familiar with crocodiles. I've got the feeling. Oh wait, no, you're from Australia. No, yeah, you are from Australia. I just assumed you're from New Zealand. Either way, it's the same place. Ooh, look at him here. Look at him. He's got some character. Hey, Pattis. Look at him waggle it. Man, he's kind of saucy. He's just sauntering. This is when he's hopping after you. If you guys haven't seen this in game, it's so great to have a crocodile hopping after you. It's the cutest thing in the world. Pattis, what's up, buddy? You're keen to wrestle this guy? Now I've got a picture. I can't do the accent, but now I can picture you actually say that as Jack. Keen to wrestle this guy. You want a croc as a pet now? I think if you go by the Druid Guild, you'll actually see like a pet crocodile. And I will never, ever, ever, because of Goblin's choice of music when he first showed the crocodile, I will never forget. Every time I see one, I will think, interior crocodile alligator. She's a beaut. Yeah. Your accent is messed up. International. It's a messed up international accent at this point. Yeah, it's kind of like my ability to speak English at this point. This Zukin or Baloo. Crocodile was Goblin. And animation was Erkenstaff. Let's see, what are you guys watching videos online and crocs actually do run that way? Crazy. Yeah, it's terrifying. I can't wait to get to see the swim in. The swim's going to be the cherry on the top. If you're running away from a crocodile, you zigzag to outmaneuver it, since it can't turn on a dime. Yeah, I mean, if you can't climb on something, I would assume. Unlike a bear, which will just climb up and just eat your ass, literally. Got the feeling crocs aren't very good climbers. I'm a Florida boy, so I was just used to alligators, and they're not great climbers. T-Con said, a year or more ago, when we went over design for classes, etc., I wanted to know what y'all were thinking about for warriors or fighters. I love EQ, but the melee classes are very dull compared to their hybrid spellcaster or counterparts. I mean, that's just going to be an ongoing discussion, T-Con. I will say that to some degree, I personally, because I only played a warrior to 65. And let's be real, in my guild, I wasn't necessarily in the dope rotations, but I played through, like I raided through a little bit of planes. And so, but I liked warrior just because it was fairly simple. That said, I don't think we're going to rely on that level of simplicity. Nick's got ideas on that front, and I'm sure we'll add stuff in there. But I like that some classes play different than others, and sometimes some people may think that's a little vanilla. I don't know. But again, we got a ways to go to kind of see how we hype that up a bit. Speaking of hype, Nicodemus, thank you for a total of 92 gift subs so far. You're awesome. And thank you for your generosity today to the great Raydini and the Savo Tender. Will they have more than Kick Taunt? Yes, they will. I think they already do, to be honest. Fortress said, I was so blown away last night. The first Eminem video I pulled up, you did a repop in the newbie area, and as soon as the creature started pathing around, I was like, oh shit, this is it. Everything looks, feels right in a way I can't even describe, really. Thank you for that. That's badass. Bill, thank you for 28 months. It's good to see you, dude. Ventali, thank you for 2 months. Between you and Phil, that's 30 months. Sakaj says, I sometimes really like to chill semi-AFK simple classes where I can watch cooking shows on my other monitor and not really have to worry about it too much. That's exactly what I did for 65 levels. So environment art. Created new tent models, created a new torch model and material, roughed out archaeologist campsite outside Wormsbane, added more tent variety to the traveler's camp, finished rough out of night market area, cleaned up, optimized, and finalized the look of the night market entrance arch, which is dope. Let's see what just happened here. So, 1 second, chat. Let me look at something. I need to go through and find something really fast on my end, not yours. It's interesting. The UX for Twitch is not the best. Did that fix it? Let's see. All right. Did a mod click shield mode? Yeah. So that's why I was getting real quiet for a second. I can't see whatever was just said. Because it's underneath the like whatever the streak hype bullshit. But yeah, like all of a sudden it went into shield mode and blanked out my blanked out chat, which I guess is to what help in case people are saying really bad things and you don't want to get in trouble for it or whatever. Blanked out yours as well? Yeah, so I was being quiet because I didn't know what the F was up. But an old mod who I would never believe would ever do anything wrong intentionally, Vith, like activated shield mode. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I haven't seen Vith in a while. So I had to go in and remove his moderator powers. But I was keeping it kind of quiet. Yeah, so. But now you're back. Now you're back. That was unusual. Like, we're pretty good about not having weird bullshit happen. For the most part, like trolls or weird spam or any of that stuff. So we've been very fortunate. So knowing Vith, I think if that was intentionally triggered, I don't think that was him. I assume there's like a hacked account or some shit. Excuse me. But that's also a good reminder to maintain that type of thing better. So I think, let me see, do I really have any other mods that, let me look on here real quick. Rolls. I'm pretty sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure Robert wouldn't do anything crazy. I'm pretty sure Gary and Keith are pretty good. We'll remove that for now just because I haven't talked to them in a while. And I remove this for now, and if they come back, then and here. Basically, I'll just keep the people that I'm actively talking to at the moment, and that seems fair, and I can always restore people if they want. Oh, good thing to say is requiring mod status to have 2FA. Oh, that is a fair point, Rev. I'll look into that after the stream. Cool. Noted. All right, so let's get back to this before everything blacked out. If you were saying something cool 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, and it disappeared, just say it again. We can never have too much cool shit said. I think I was right in the middle of, like, oh, were we reading something, or were we making fun of a CJack's Australian accent? I forget what it was. All right, Bullet Catcher, we're back to it. Cleaned up, optimized, and finalized the look of Night Harbor Market, or Night Market Entrance Arch. Created new materials and textures for the Night Market Arch. I do blame Noel as well. Noel is still after us. Converted old Elementalist Temple Geo into a new Temple of Rel. Replacing the older rough Geo. Created materials for Steel Talon's heraldry banners. Finished roughing out the garrison layout to support future population content pass. Started to prop out the garrison. Modeled first pass of the main gate to Night Harbor. Modeled first pass of the garrison's gate and portcullis. You know what I mean. Why would it portcullis? You know, it's a lot easier to read fantasy words than to say them out loud sometimes. Portcullis. Modeled first pass of standard doors and door frames for Night Harbor. Portcullis. Leaf says portcullis. So you got two different phonetics going on in chat right now. Portcullis, or portcullis. I'm thinking the first one is probably right, but I'm not going to read the word out ever again, so we're fine now. Created and animated all of the above listed doors and gates. Modeled trebuchets for the garrison. Portcullis. Yes. That's now the game of your M&M guild. Portcullis, Ticon. I don't know if we're going to let you have that goofy of a name. We're very serious. We're very serious. Our peers around here. Modeled and textured way shrine object based on Luna and Goblin's concepts. Various material collision and nav fixes across multiple zones. But I did notice, Pattis, we were looking at the fact that the nav mesh in Night Harbor still lets NPCs basically walk from one level down the wall to the other level. So we gotta... Ollie said there's some setting that needs to be set where it's basically that distance needs to be addressed. What about the guild Purple Penguin Patrol? Justin, no. If you try to make a guild named Purple Penguin Patrol, then we're not going to put coffee in the game. How you like that? Yeah, I think they're still doing it, Pattis. We watched some dudes just wander right on off. So at least the ones that were using the simpler go-tos that were honestly just trying to go. What's up, Homestead? I guess I guess I'd be punishing more than Justin with that one, but all right. Well, you guys take it up with Justin. Modeled ship for garrison. Created as sales material, and it's a cool ass ship. Made progress gray boxing the harbor district and Night Harbor. Prop placement for various camps in Shaded Dunes. So I realized after I had built the list of images here. Oh no, there it is, right there. Okay, I'm gonna not even say what I was about to say. So here are the images. Noel's Simmering Rage is a guild. Ripper's just hanging out in the bathhouse. Boom. So there we go. We saw this in action earlier. You know what? That should pop up in a whatchamacallit? What is that called? Lightbox? I'm gonna make that pop up. I'll change that setting right now. Was that a fire pit pizza oven? You're totally opening a pizzeria in game? You know what? I would be so amped if you were able to do that. We should allow that possibility. Yeah, Lightbox. Alright. So... boom. There we go. That's nice. Tikan said, I love the concept art in this game. Holy moly. Yes, we love it too. Norath, Coffee LLC, new guild name. No. Or maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we could get in trouble for your guild name referring to another game. All right. So game design and QA update. Added mining nodes to Night Harbor, Wormsbane Tomb, Population Changes Edition, Bone Construct. You've seen us fight him before. Encounter abilities. Now it's a new encounter. Wormsbane itemization changes and additions. Shaded Dunes, mob ability changes, additions. Created many new abilities. Fixed various abilities. Rebalanced various abilities. Created additional NPC ability loadout sets. Oh, that'd be nice. I'm going to use more of those. Added smelting recipe, adding blacksmithing recipe, completed druid faction write-up for the Circle of Scarce Range, and they've been implemented. Oh, that's the next bullets. Implemented integrated druid faction into existing faction system, populated druid guild hall, added initial druid, necromancer, shadow knight, and inquisitor quests, implemented way shrine mechanics, completed a design proposal for the crafting system, completed shaman, beastmaster faction write-up, and they are called the Seekers of the Lost Eye. Added more zone mud actions, descriptions to various locations within Night Harbor, Shaded Dunes, and Tomb of the Last Wormsbane. Zone population and camp changes for Shaded Dunes, documented a large chunk of our design tooling as part of onboarding Luna, identified design tool issues and feature requests as part of documenting the tools. And they made a cool way shrine for use in both quests for druids, but then also we'll attach some other mechanics to it. It's a cool little thing. The idea that Luna's expressed is having these along different roads and stuff. Since players can use candles to light them, you can see when players have been through an area. And depending on the area, there may be little cool benefits or things like that going on. So more interaction with the world. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to take a sip of water because we're about to do tech. And tech is a lot of talking. There was a lot of updates in tech. So fixes. Fixed a bug where negative stat values on items could cause multiple stats not to show up in the inspection window. Made applicable mobs rotate correctly when walking on sloped terrain, such as 90-degree walls. Or added a new general culling group manager for distance-based performance optimizations. Fixed camera pop when right-click mouse looking out of left-click pan camera. Fixed female human models crashing model loading. Fixed error in Git repo causing metafiles to be discarded, causing massive asset failures. Yeah, that wasn't fun. Fixes for charmed mobs. Fixed errors on login. Fixed cleanup of buff volumes when they are destroyed or when exiting one volume and entering another. Fixed monk feign death animation stuck bug. Fixed for NPCs struggling to attack you if you circle strafe them. Additions and improvements. New bardcast system. Fully integrated languages when talking between players. Fully integrated languages when talking to NPCs. So that's for our various languages that we can add. In-game languages, not real-world languages. Made NPCs use a primary language when communicating. Upgrades to the build pipeline and CI/CD pipeline for preparation for letting people in. That's our continuous integration, continuous deployment pipeline. Implemented patch kit. Patch kit is a potential alternative to our Sola installer launcher patcher system, assuming we can't get certain things to work with Sola. So basically, we've got two options available to us to get guests into the game. Handled null messages, which were crashing client, graphics optimization for higher FPS, new click volume system for better selection, new tab targeting system, death shroud system. So when you die, you no longer appear naked. You will appear in your death shroud, which once we put in the logic for guards in certain places not wanting to see you in your underwear and thus potentially killing you, you'll probably want to keep your death shroud on. Now loading closest entity models first. Made rain size smaller, but accidentally introduced a bug in which we now have more raindrops than before. So it optimized it and de-optimized it at the same time. But we're on it. We're going to fix it. Let's see. Auto grant abilities with skills. Ability books are now physical things and must be equipped to memorize spells. That exists, but it is not a must-have yet. So we'll have to look at that. We swear we're not lying to you. Support for wide zone lines, and so we've got some pretty big zone lines that allows you to zone and then wind up on the other side as well. Nicodemus said null messages, losing packets, or was the server receiving messages with no data? Ollie here? Ollie is not in here, but that's a good question for him, either in a DM or just in Discord. There's all sorts of rain, fat rain, skinny rain, rain that came in sideways. What is that from? That sounds familiar. Disabled character select race button if there are no allowed classes for that race. Forrest Gump? Okay, I only remember the shrimp part of it. There was all sorts of rain, fat rain, skinny rain. Okay, now I can picture it. When I was in the army, it was people really enjoyed repeating Forrest Gump stuff. I could have sworn that was around when I was in the army. Maybe I'm thinking of every single frickin' Jim Carrey movie. GIs get very annoying. Came out in 94? Yeah, then that was the right time for it. Yeah, they had to have come out in like 94 or early 94. Because I could have sworn drill sergeants were calling people Forrest Gump. Let's see. Now automatically selects a race class when character select screen loads. Editor and design support. Design tools, zone panel, auto increment IDs, fixed zone panel fixes, added quest commands, die, spawn, and then spawn at location. Quest response, aggro true. That's actually right here. Quest response, aggro true is why Noel punched me in the face. So, I gave him a note. He punched me in the face. All because of this edition. No despawn flag for conditional spawns. That was what you saw at the archaeologist camp a few streams ago, where we have a day-night cycle. Where when day comes, all of the night spawns disappear and the day spawns appear, and then vice versa at night. What I was looking for was a flag that allowed us to basically have the day spawns, which are the archaeologists. And if you kill an archaeologist during the day, he'll respawn normally. If you kill a archaeologist at night, the archaeologist will no longer respawn because it's nighttime. And the reason why I wanted that is so that I could keep the day spawns up, the archaeologists, and then I could spawn the undead, and the undead will eat the archaeologists and then take over the camp in a pretty natural fashion. Otherwise, what would have happened is nighttime comes, archaeologists despawn, undead spawn, right? And so, if we had this same setup in like Kithakor, what would happen is undead would spawn and they would just kill Bixies would be dying everywhere, and random people that live there getting mauled and all of that shit. So it was a cool, very simple solution for Ollie to allow for that to happen. And pretty fun. You like the undead slaughter option, right? Undead slaughter option is typically a good option to go with in these games. Added database animation mining, which allows for us to basically tell your arm to do this once the animation I think we do have the animation is there when you're mining. So it could also, I guess, be paint the fence, but we need to add database animation paint the fence. Added some quest level restrictions, minimum level, maximum level. So we can use those in quests now. Changed mud objects prompts to be any instead of all. Merged mud objects or mud actions with quest system and added tons of features to both. Yep. Monk Trainer says paint the fence. Yes, John, that would be perfect. the where was I? Change faction spawn command, NPC flag, no experience, so that if we need to put in like some gimpy little NPCs that swarm you or whatever, maybe you're not necessarily getting experience for it. I don't know exactly where all we would use that, but we got the command out, so that's good. We have the ability to create an NPC with an ability effect. And speaking of swarms, an ability effect trigger to trigger things. Fix quest stand-ins where multiple of the same item were required. Added ability to tag quests to respawn only once. Added return items true. So some more item and quest related stuff. Increased ability list HID to 64 so that we can have longer HIDs, human readable IDs. Added helper utility for loading, unloading multiple scenes within the editor. I think you just saw me do that earlier. Added helper utility for enabling, disabling multiple game objects. New M&M edits. So all 4 of these are a new interface for our database, a tool that Keith's been working on with Ollie. So you can now use M&M edit with the live database. You can query items from within the tool. You can search through the database logs, which are pretty interesting. We've got pretty robust player logging already. So here, I'll show you. Let me look first and make sure there's nothing in these logs that is like top secret, but I don't think there is. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, so we've got some logging. We're gonna see like how sustainable it is to log at this level. But we've got player action logging in. And you can see basically whenever we're playing on the server, you can see who. So in this case, this was my necromancer. Does it show class? Yep. So it is my human necromancer. I was level 4 at the time that I killed this skeleton. We may find that managing all of this data is like too gnarly or whatever, and we don't necessarily want to keep every little bit of it. Or there may be some ways to basically handle it differently. But for now, we'd rather start with too much and kind of see, because what this allows us to do is I can basically come in, I can look at a character, know what their session looked like. I can see how many times abilities were used in a gameplay session, right? So like if I came in and I looked at this particular time frame, like this day for my necromancer, I can see during my play session how many times I cast each ability. I could then look at that, basically look at multiple play sessions or look at multiple necromancers and go, all right, so this is how frequently these abilities are getting used, or hey, this ability's never getting used. All of this goes into the metrics that we're going to be tracking to allow us to do like, you know, big boy and girl company stuff where we can look and see what was your, you know, when we do a play test, we may just for shits and giggles have play tests to bring people in, let you run wild, just so we can then log out, or when you log out, we can go through the logs and look and go, okay, cool. These abilities are getting used. These abilities aren't getting used. Given the frequency of the ability use, I still think it would be fun to get more reagents into the game, right? So then we can also look at like, all right, this ability is used non-stop. If we wanted to put a reagent cost in on that, this is what we'd have to consider. You know, like how many, you know, if it's used 400 times in a session, which I doubt any ability is, in a 1 hour session, then that would be a lot of reagents to carry. And so maybe that's unrealistic or whatever. Or how do we want to balance that? So yeah, just lots of good data in here. For customer service, we can already start to, you know, see actions that were taking place, and it's like, I looted the item, super rare item of, you know, the scythe of farmer harvesting or whatever it was, Nicodemus. And so, and then, you know, we could look in there and be like, you, my friend, are trying to bullshit us. So there's all sorts of good stuff in getting these logs in place. The farmer farming, that's right, scythe of farmer farming. So, cool, man. Little side tangent, but yeah, it allows us to not only see exploits, but do automatic flagging and reporting, right? So we can basically have a check in our database, and if we see certain behaviors occurring in certain patterns, then it can go ahead and let us know and be like, either exploit, or maybe we need to go check on somebody and see what's up in terms of like RMT and all that stuff. Justin, all right, be safe, enjoy your walk to Starbucks, and then I'll keep an eye out for you to get back. Nicodemus said zombies could mine the archaeologists after they fall. If the players ask, the undead would just reply, "We are picking their brains." I will not be putting that one in game, but you did get a change in game. All right, so back at it. We left off with log search, and that's what led me on that little distracted tangent. Art support rearranged item model data and prefabs, implemented loading shoulders so that we could see the shoulders, implemented loading hair in 3 sections, which allows us to be able to see the this cool look up here, right? So as you can see, she's got hair with a circlet on, and that seems to work fine. She's got a hood, so you no longer see her braids, but you do see her bangs. And then she's got a helmet on, so you can see a little bit of bangs in there, and you can see her braids. So that's pretty dope, right? You can also create heat maps of player mob death data to see where kill zones are, making sure camp areas are working correctly. That is also true, Nicodemus. And those are always fun to look at. Oh, Droop, I didn't read out your whole thing. So Droop said that allow you to more easily see exploits too. That part I read out. For example, in EQ Live right now, Paladins have an ability that if you spam at like 1 millisecond with a program, will actually let you bypass the timer, increasing DPS greatly. Totally a bug exploit. But it show up plain as day in logs like this. Yeah, I've got the feeling if it's counting as a trigger, like if it's actually being triggered, then we should be able to easily find that type of thing. And even if we don't have a like automatic reporting for that because it was a behavior we weren't expecting to see yet, though we could probably set up a report that's looking for suspicious ability behavior. Could think of a few different logic on that. But anyways, it would at least allow us, if somebody reported, hey, this guy's doing this, then we could go in and check and verify it and be like, yep, that is being done. I don't know. Maybe EQ Live actually has that as well. You don't necessarily always know what games have at their disposal, just because sometimes they've got that stuff working behind the scenes and they do actually find out what's up. But sometimes it doesn't exist. I don't know. Is that Asado? Thank you for the follow. So implemented hair in 3 sections, allowing gear to hide hair at a granular level. Cindercroft, thank you for your generosity and giving out a gift sub to casters. Fixed female human ears. Fixed loading root attachments where bone counts do not match. Allowed asymmetrical shoulder support. So it allows us to actually set up shoulders now that only appear on one side. And it looks like WoW's new expansion allows for that in their transmog system as well. Goblin was showing that off. Revamped zone loading, unloading, zone list, and subscene loader. Worked with Arkenstaff to set up looping mining animation and rudimentary combat idle animation. refactored entity animations into their own class for organizations, set up dead zones to ignore velocity impulses for recurring entity snapping to game world floor. All right. Fixed characters frozen that were gliding. Okay. So there you go. You want to hear the rest of this, then well, actually I'll read it out because it's quick and it involves people. So in closing, thanks for checking out the update and for your continued support and participation in our Discord, live streams, that's you, and VODs, that's whoever's watching this, but like in a week. We appreciate all of the comments and discussion. We actually do. Simon and Amy are both now listed on a team page. You can go there and check out their bios. Go check it out. We've hit the ground running. They've hit the ground running. And we're happy to have them on board. Congrats to Keith from Mandrake Farms hitting 500 subscribers on YouTube. For those of you that don't know, Keith is like cut out, 20 minutes, smaller excerpts from like live streams like this, the VODs, and made them focus on one topic and more digestible. So you can find that at Mandrake Farms. It was a passion project of his from prior to joining the team. It features condensed M&M videos centered on a specific topic or topics we cover during a live stream. That's it for November. Take care and see you all soon. Okay, so that's our update. Every time new people come in, I'm like, go check out our updates because there's art and stuff you just won't see anywhere else. And so I mean that our updates page has now got a nice number of updates. This cool art is my desktop right now. Boom. Very, very nice. And so like if we come in here, last month's was actually 2 months worth, and you can see all sorts of stuff that you may not see anywhere else at the moment. So they're always fun to dig through. So if you go to our webpage, which you can find right here, you can see all sorts of interesting stuff. So there you go. Bard Tail Delight, good morning to you. We have been busy, always busy. Dargit says, I love the reaction to the engineering gobbledygook. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I read it, I'm like, okay, I know that made something better, but I couldn't explain it to you. The desktop art that I just showed, I think you can also find that in Discord. Can you use some of our art for wallpaper on your PC? Absolutely. It'd be our honor to be on your PC, dude. Go to Discord. Let me see. Is it in the art section? Art updates. This one isn't in art updates yet. We need to get it in there. Don't let Goblin forget to get it in there. But we need to get this one in there. It's really nice. Oops. That is Robert's non-Eminem music. Let's go back to the Eminem music. Is that a troll rogue on the left? No, Kinster, that is a goblin rogue on the left. We've got a goblin, a halfling, in a deep gnome, in a minotaur. Mini troll? Oh, they're different. They're different. Goblins are just troll runabees. I dare you to say that to Goblin's face. And that is a mini minotaur outside? Oh, what if it really was a minotaur? A minotaur. Get it? Oh man, don't look. There's probably secrets. Probably spoilers. Alright, so can we get Chibi Eminem? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Maybe for a Japanese release? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, big heads. So, is that... I mean, I've seen a lot of those... Oops, I was not able to get in. Interesting, interesting. So Shaded Dunes I can't get into. That's what it is. Let's see... Sean banned after being reported for training Noel all over the zone. That might have been it. Apparently Nick got banned before bed as well. I'm very curious to know what's causing Shaded Dunes to be kind of not good at the moment. Probably data. Probably something I did. A Minotaur in a 1 foot high hedge maze. That's what this image is. So I didn't know they were called that, Syndicroft. The big head dolls, I didn't know they were called chibis or whatever. But at my last company, when they were doing character sort of updates and designs for the 4 main characters, the 4 soul riders, we were talking about them, and when we were talking about, is their look distinct enough? Like, do they have their own sort of brand identity? Each of the girls. One exercise that I threw out to the art director, the art team there is fantastic. I mean, the team there is just fantastic. But like, the art director is one of the nicest people, and just, she's super talented, and their art team's super talented. But the question I asked was like, if you made them, because I didn't know what they were called. I was like, if you made them like one of those big headed toys, or like a bobblehead or something, what would be the characteristics that when you looked at a bobblehead version of this character? Oops, let me turn off YouTube music. Yeah, like the Funko things, right? And so that's what I was picturing. And so I was like, if you were to turn them into those kind of models, what would they look like? And they actually did like a drawing like that, kind of exercise. Because my thought in sort of suggesting that is, whenever you're making a caricature of something, the focus quickly becomes those identifiers, right? Like, is it the beanie that a girl's wearing? Or is it, if she doesn't have a beanie, like, what about her look makes her feel like, feel iconic? And so, yeah, it was cool. I was amped because they went with it, and it turned out to be a I don't know. I thought the response was that it was a productive exercise. And so, yeah, I was proud of myself. Hey, Swanee. SSO, our team, are super talented. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, SSO, our team's super talented. There was another team that I will just say, because I don't think they've announced anything or whatever. But that little team is very talented as well. And the stuff that I'd seen before I left on the thing they were working on, I was like, oh man, that's going to be super cute. Like, thought it had a lot of potential. And one of the artists on that team is actually the creator of a tool that a ton of people use. Like, we even use it. So the tool PureRef, she is co-creator of the tool PureRef, which we use, everybody uses. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a pretty talented group of folk. Phil says, yeah, I forget, like, some of you guys, it's your first time in here or whatever. That's what I'm doing. John said, I love PureRef. Yeah. Natasha made PureRef. It's so badass. There's so many talented people there. Phil said, I don't know that I've ever seen rain here. Is the rain new, or have you just have rain thematically rare in a desert? I think you just missed it. Like, we've got it as, it was just kind of a placeholder, our first effect. Or sorry, our first weather effect. And so here, I'm gonna make myself invulnerable so I don't just die while we show people around. I would go into the next zone and show you shaded dunes, and then you can look back at this and see it, and it's really nice and lit up and stuff. But let's run around for now and kind of look at some stuff for those of you that have never seen the game before. But I won't zone, because then we'll go into the void where Noel is waiting to beat us up. Oh, okay. It is live on the Apple Store. Got renamed to Wild Song. Oh, badass. Okay, cool. Wild Song seems like it would be harder to find than anything with horse in the name, but that's just me. The horses app, yeah, the game is... when I saw it, it was still pretty early, and it was really super cool. But it's funny, like, so many people found our horses app because it was just called Horses. They ran into some trademarking troubles. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, alright, so sun is rising. So much content I gotta get caught up on also. Like, I get EQ Dev interview from years ago on one tab, Eminem, then the stream. Yeah, we aim to provide a lot of content, right? Since we all do these videos a couple times a week, there's plenty of content just from these, so... I was skimming through the Ashes of Creation update where they were showing clerics and their skybox and nighttime, and they've got constellations and stuff in their sky, which they then show as like you know, you can actually see like the lines and all that stuff come up. I've got to say, I know somebody from Intrepid is watching this right now. I know you guys are. I assume that's always been in your design doc. I assume you didn't hear us talking about astronomy and how cool it's going to be to have constellations. So, but if it wasn't, then cool. It's always nice to think that cool ideas get out there. Your content creates content. Your content overfloweth. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Nicodemus. No, I'm fairly certain they probably had like constellation, or sorry, the lunar cycle and astronomy and stuff in their design doc. Steven had that in the design doc years ago. Years ago. I will only ever say that kind of stuff in jest. It's never meant to be spicy or snarky. Though the idea of us working on stuff at some point and other teams seeing it and going, oh shit, we should do that. Because I know people at, like, you know, little humble brag. I know people at, seems like every company at this point. So, and I would love to think that something our little punk rock team is doing is influencing some other team out there. I think it'd just be cool. So if we were to run up this way, there's a dungeon there for those of you that are new. Tomb of the Last Wormsbane. We go through a crevice and walk our way into a cave, and then we can zone in there. Shaded Dunes is there, and the challenge is apparently it's eating all of our characters. Any possibility of future update type streams or YouTube videos with the greater group of M&M devs chatting about updates and current efforts all at once? We keep saying that we want to do more of that. The challenge is I stream so god awful early for everybody in America right now. That makes it a bit challenging. Ollie works like 3 jobs and has 2 young kids bouncing off his lap pretty regularly, so it's harder for him to stream. And M&M monthly podcast. I would like to. I don't think it would. I don't know that you guys would enjoy it as much as a podcast, right? Like, I am not a big fan of curated sort of like, so Ollie, tell me what you did today, right? Like, that's good for a lot of teams. I just don't feel very comfortable doing it, right? I want it to feel as natural as possible, i.e. other teams that do that actually invest in, like, coming up with questions and have good production values, and we're a little too punk rock for that. So at some point we just need to honor the promise of, like, actually getting some folks together on a stream so that you can ask questions as well, and we just live stream it. We really do aim to be the Bill O'Reilly of game development. We aim to be the Bill O'Reilly of indie MMORPG development. And so our goal is always to do it live. Don't invite Noel to the live chat. No, he's not invited. Man, I can't wait till that boat's sailing around. Oh man, it's a shame boats became so violent. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, that took a second to catch up. Not quite sure why. Why am I not swimming? There we go. Maybe after your friend and family session ends, you can do a team interview on what was learned. Oh, that might be neat. Hobgoblin said, game is coming along really well. Thank you. Speaking of violent boats, you made a thing in community content. Was that a recent thing? For some reason, I feel like I've seen that thing, but if it was recent, then I'm thinking of something else. While I was reading the newsletter, okay. C-Jack, it's funny, I for whatever reason, it just popped into my head again. I really gotta say, I really enjoyed working with those folks there. If it ever comes up, feel free to tell them. I don't really give a shit what they think about me. I'm not saying it for any other reason, just then it's the truth. I get no benefit from saying it, but that was a fun group of people. Oh shit. I guess I went out of the water volume. I guess we've got, oh yeah, I know, because I tried to fix the water volume. So the visual effect and the actual swimming volume are 2 different pieces. And for whatever reason, I could not get these 2 volumes to line up to save my life. And so there's something hinky going on. There's something weird. But see, now I'm in the volume. but I'm also out of breath. And being in the water volume is a lot scarier than, so. I'm an aquabat. Grabbed a matcha drink with coconut milk. That sounds delicious as frick. Justin Beard. Now I am jealous as all get up. I think I have some matcha powder, but I don't have any coconut milk. Asheroth 86. Thank you for the follow. Oh goodness. If you're looking at my suboptimal frame rate at the moment, keep in mind I am playing in the editor, not in the release client, so I lose some frames there. And then there's definitely some optimization that we'll have to do. Long term, we're probably going to break Night Harbor into multiple zones and then optimize based on that. Right, so like this area, excuse me, you'll probably be able to jump the wall and zone in, and you'll be in the harbor district as opposed to being over in the garrison area or the market. So we'll figure out the best way, but if we find that we need to, just because we're going to have a shitload of entities, like we're going to have a lot of NPCs, we're going to have a lot of doors, we're going to have a lot of different volumes, and there may be some graphic optimization that we just can't pull off without it. But then what we'll do is we'll continue to do like we've done Shaded Dunes looking into Night Harbor. What we'll do is we'll fake it with a facade, and so you'll be looking here and you'll see everything, including lighting, and then maybe you zone in. For example, right? Then you hop in, you zone. So, and then the other thing that allows you to do is, when you come in here, we want to make pretty much any NPC in here campable and itemized, right? And so if you're over here, you know, farming guards or some shit like that, and you get into trouble, then you might be able to hop across the zone line. No harm, no foul. So we'll play around with some stuff like that. I'm sure you can think of lots of edge cases and have questions, but that'll get you started. What is more scary, the boat that looks like a shark or the boat that comes after you on land? The boat that comes after you on land, the mimic boat, is terrifying. We fought a mimic in Evercraft Online, and it was fantastic. I need a blue hoodie to be an Aquabat. I honestly don't remember. Did they wear blue hoodies? They probably did. That sounds about right. The faux voxels? Is that what they were called? Well, I mean, I forget what it looked like. Yeah, but it was a mimic. Word with an E or 3? I forget. Word, we discussed it. Word with an E because the E is in word. I get it now. I remember the whole thing. Yeah, we were talking about the design doc earlier in the stream. Fink the Rat has our design doc, so that's why we're like not even bothering with it. You had no idea what to do with it? I guess give it to us so we could use it. I'm not sure we've ever seen it. You guys are our design document. We have Confluence with stuff written down, don't worry, but for the most part. For the most part, we discuss and quickly build and iterate. Ooh. It's always one area that's missing, it seems like. All right, so this is different now because this area was actually missing earlier in the stream, wasn't it? Now it's this area. Trippy. What is even going on? It's like melting my brain right now. Okay, so I'm going to... Nope, what? Oh, neck. So what we've got left basically for Night Harbor, assuming all of Night Harbor is loading in properly, is we've got this tiered area, the elevated area that is going to be built out, and there's a lot inside this. There is a bit more along the shoreline here going into Riverbend. So the Riverbend district is going to be kind of a nautical shantytown theme. And then we've got Sage Side over here in the northeast corner of the zone. And then we'll be pretty solid on first pass of block out. So, either something's disappeared or Pattis has been doing some work here. Dracula, is that you? Yes. Extra dev, it is I. And, whoops, and then, yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. First pass taken care of. One of the things we were talking about today, and one of the things I want to do as an experiment, and maybe just in like door placement, is once we get this block out, then we are going to... I'd like to come through here and identify, like maybe pick an arbitrary number and go, how many of each type of player housing do we want to have? And go through and basically put a locked door on everything that would be a player house or player ownable shop, though shops may work slightly differently. And then basically see how quickly that chews up a lot of these buildings. And then we'll be looking at those in relation to the content that we're going to be putting into a number of these areas as well. So the city looks humongous, but I got the feeling that once we get all of the factions in, guild factions, all of the narrative factions, all the player housing, and then the various camps and things like that that go along with the narrative factions, we're actually going to chew up the space pretty quickly, I think. Do you have a roadmap for 2023? I posted something, an update here. Curious about player buildings and nightmare supply demand problem. So what we're going to create is kind of that nightmare supply demand, but have the fact that it is a supply demand problem be a heavy driver for the degree to which they are kind of exclusive and cache sinks. So we'll have to figure out the balance on that. There's going to be some iteration. So the Trello board. This is, and I'm not meaning to be a smart ass at all when I say this. So I've updated, it's got past months links here. If you look at our roadmap, I went ahead and just got honest with you today. The best way we found to communicate this is for you to come by the streams or our Discord. But broadly speaking, our next big goals are friends and family playtesting in December of 2022 to basically verify our ability to get external people in, and just sort of see how's playtesting going to work. Our first community development playtests in Q1 of 2023, and then working through remaining proof of concept work in 2023. So watch a stream of VOD, YouTube video, or ask in Discord for more details. So those are our immediate goals. And when you go, well, but how are you mapping out your actual like milestones, or what does your roadmap look like? Essentially, we're rather than try to screw around with you know, some super far-reaching roadmap, what we did was we created a deconstruction of all of the things that we want to get in, so that we can monitor whether or not there's scope creep, and we can push things to the edge that we're like, yeah, you know what, we want to, you know, we want to potentially try that for proof of concept, and then there's some stuff that's just not going to be around for proof of concept. If anything, this allows us to pull in scope rather than add to it. We don't talk about some of these concepts very much because we're just focused on the more core stuff. Let's see. Damn it. How can I expect you guys? The UX on this is not great. I think I explained how to use this up here. I need to reread it myself about this roadmap. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. What's it say? What's it say? I want to see how to expand this shit again. Blah, 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 blah. That's outdated. Whatever. Maybe I'll remove that link at some point. There we go. Callahan 11. Thank you for 10 months. So essentially what we do to kind of describe, and we were talking about improving this today, actually. We spent a couple hours talking about this. What we're going to do is we've got this for all of you guys to kind of see the totality of what we're thinking is going to go in the game. And you can kind of see when we say proof of concept versus the rest of the game. Like if we don't know that we need it or think it's necessary for proof of concept, it's just kind of one of the cards that's below proof of concept here. We may find something like group or community skills for trade skills should actually be up here, right? And for that one, that may actually be a one that I might as well just kind of put in our backlog. Label backlog. So we've got done to be discussed, initial implementation done, ongoing. So it's just something that we're always working on versus just backlog for proof of concept. And yeah, so we just kind of put it up here and you can see whether or not we've touched something or if we feel it's done. And so again, this is a full deconstruction of like what we think at a high level, the game is going to include when we go live, or going to mainly include for proof of concept. And then what we do is we look at more immediate goals, like friends and family being the most immediate. And we just kind of create a checklist of all the shit that we think it needs. And then the next goal being, before we let people externals in, what do we need? And a lot of that's content, you know, so it's like design stuff, art stuff, and a lot of tech. And then we look at that checklist, and we've been managing that in a couple places, but we've been really loosey-goosey on it, and like we don't have a lot of like coordination month to month and all of that stuff. It just it hasn't clicked for us, and we've still been able to just kind of power ahead because we communicate a ton in Slack. And so like Slack is, if you haven't used it, it's kind of like Discord for adults. And so we're just constantly talking like, hey, what about this? And hey, work on this and blah, blah, blah. It could be improved. Nicodemus said the team is doing great on time, in my opinion, for a workforce that is part-time and voluntary. Small teams are more effective and agile without all the red tape. Yep. And so what we want to do is not add red tape, but we're probably, because we do a lot with GitHub issues, and GitHub, let me see something. If I show it, I don't know if I'm like revealing something that maybe I shouldn't or whatever. So let me check it real quick. Is there any way to... I don't think I can mask the URL on this. So what I'll do is let me do something really quick, and then I'll show you, because I don't think I can mask the URL. So I'm gonna boom. Oh my gosh, my machine's just so slow right now because I'm streaming and got the editor running and I'm doing wacky stuff. Okay. So I'll show you some stuff. It's not like a big spoiler or anything, so if you you know, try to get goofy and like go back and watch the VOD and read it or whatever, then I don't think it's gonna matter. But my machine's so out of resources right now. All right, so essentially we've got like another board where we've been showing a lot of like art progress and things, and we really don't use it as much as we could or should for all of content. Zukin's been really fantastic about updating it, but there's information in here that's like breakdowns of like what each model requires, and you can kind of see like here 6 of 6 and blah blah blah. We're gonna move all of that. Oh sorry, Nicodemus. Nicodemus said, I just noticed I used the dreaded in my opinion. Strike that. I'll replace with in my experience as a project developer. Yeah, that's that works too. So what we want to do is basically consolidate some of this tracking and stuff into GitHub issues, and that way we're using their Kanban board in there, and we're able to task people. Our Trello and our Confluence and our GitHub issues are all they are all integrated into Slack. And so when we update, like if we add a new ticket in or add a new issue. Oh, why did my green screen get weird? Because it's so dark in here? Okay. Oh, because my hand was flailing forward? Either way. What's going on? Is it not... very dark outside. Anyway, so we've got all of that integrated into our Slack, into each of the, like, we have different channels, and you know, we've got 30 channels, and so anytime I just look, I see 30 channels, and if it's dark or has like a, you can see the notification, you know, pop up, then I know just to check that and there's a conversation going on. And then you can search the whole Slack. It's easy to find old conversations and shit. So, yeah, essentially decent communication for being a small team of part-timers that are in like 6 different time zones. So, but we think we could probably improve that a little bit and be even more effective. So... yeah, what I'm trying to think. Oh, the roadmap discussion triggered this. And so going back to roadmap. And there's some of this stuff that has been added here that could probably do with other stuff. But you'll notice if you go through here, this does not include any content, right? So nowhere in here do we say zone XYZ or number of zones or any of that shit, right? Like, it's just, this is sort of the foundational elements of it. And then it's up to us to, you know, define how much content we want in how much content we want to like put in the proof of concept or what we actually need there. Yeah. So I would say that this isn't really as much a roadmap as it is kind of a status board that you could look at for us, and then we tell you what we just got done in great detail if you've read our updates, like very specific, and then we talk about kind of what we're working on next with you, and then hopefully this helps you see kind of how far along we are on sort of overall, you know, scope of shit that needs to get done. Yeah, so plan versus actual design. Yeah, and I would even say that this isn't even really, you know, it's not a plan, it's more of a pile of stuff that all needs to get done, or if it doesn't get done, explained as to why we pushed it or any of that stuff. So yeah. I would actually, you know what, with trade skills, I think we may actually put another flag on here that is, I'm gonna change this from done to initial implementation and ongoing, because we've got a lot of ideas we want to put in here, and we don't want to necessarily make it seem like we're in our final form. So yeah. I mean, we're always happy to tell you or show you exactly what we're working on. So I think that maybe, and we'll tell you like what's next or whatever. So I think maybe that helps mitigate some of the need for a, like a detailed roadmap. You're either going to be confident in our ability to continue driving things forward based on what you've seen so far or not. And then I think the other thing is, you know, to date, we really haven't taken any of your money or anything. So you either enjoy the streams and kind of like what's the progress to date and think it's good, or maybe we're not your bag. I don't know. Does that make sense? Let me clear my bat form. Let me, I think real open development, you sort of created a new type of game dev style. Well, I mean, in all fairness, like this whole category of people are people making their games openly. We just decided that was the right move for us as well. And like, we don't mind you seeing bugs and shit not working like that. It just didn't work. I don't know what's going on. It's so finicky. So yeah, I mean, my torch ran out. Run, Noel's coming. I think he's not after this character though. Let's try logging back into the other character and see if I can get in. Door sounded like it needed oil to open. Yeah. For whatever reason, seeing Sakaj just reminded me that... Who came in and said hello in German? I meant to reply back in German earlier. Let me see if I can get in with this guy. I think he's probably still going to be stuck. Because I haven't seen an update. I think we did something... It would have had to have been data related. I don't know what else would have changed that would create an ability to get into the zone. Seems like some weird data thing. And if I don't load in the interest of... Oop, I think... no. Why is it loading? Seems like it's loading Night Harbor, but I thought I should have been in Shaded Dunes. Which character is this? Oh, this is the... Is this the Inquisitor? Oh, it's a different Inquisitor. Okay, I'm a dummy. Alright. It's my other Inquisitor, guys. I was using him to debug some quest stuff. And my torch burned out. That's better. And... since I'm on the wrong character... No inspect the other Spanish Inquisitor? Isn't that part of that whole thing? Dwarf Fortress released 30 minutes ago on Steam already. Top seller. So happy for those dudes. 17 years in development or something. Does it have the new graphical update? Yeah? Oh, nice. I'll have to take a look. Alright, we're gonna run to the zone line and see if this guy gets eaten as well. The Ashira do not like skeletons. So the only problem with the fact that the Ashira do not like skeletons is that they will gang up on all the skeletons in a newbie yard. And if you're out here looking for skeletons for a quest, it's it can be a real pain in the ass. Because if you look around, there's not a ton of skeletons in the newbie yard at the moment. Alright, here we go. Zone time. And if it goes to desktop, that'll be okay. I mean, character select. Yep. Okay. Cool. I'm going to create a new character. I'm only going to tool around in the newbie yard. You guys tell me what type of character, and I will make it real quick and then hop on it. One of the things I was doing last night, well, I forget, I was just kind of like waiting for something or tooling around or whatever it was. I went into our point of interest system and, excuse me, I was making it so that there are even more locations that the guards can point you to make it so that the guards are as helpful as humanly possible. So if you ask them where to find any of the player guilds, key locations in the city, etc., then they will send you there. Bard, okay. Bard should be working. You would like to see a lady character? Let me make one. They're very in development, as you can see by her sad face. So let's make a human bard lady. I think if I give her hair, she'll look a little less creepy. So, does she have hair yet? What? Is the hair not in yet? The hair's not in yet. So the hair, oh gosh. Oh, so these are all the male faces just applied to her geo. Base. This one. And so it's male everything just on her geo. But life is hard in Night Harbor. If you look at the one in the update with the hair, it looks good. What? She doesn't have hair yet? Really? I thought for sure she'd have hair. Okay, we don't want to look at her yet. Look away. Look away. We're gonna do a boy for now. But as you saw in the update, look, we'll go back to it. Look. Monsters and memories update. I don't know why it's closed out. Anyways, update. Update. So she's got the potential because there is something startlingly different about seeing that male face thrown on that Geo when there's hair. I don't know what it is. Right? Like, this is the same model. It's just that the hair does wonders. So, but we're going to avoid it for now because it's not implemented yet. So that's my bad for thinking that it was. BGFX, I haven't checked Discord. Did you forget about us? Oh, Byte just hit me up. Byte said, okay. He was trying to bring the stream up on his phone, and the mod tool popped up, and that's what got us. Cool. Okay. Thank you very much, VGFX. Yeah, so Bard. We're going with the first appearance that comes up. And create character. Interworld. Tony said, oh yeah, I almost forgot. I'm planning a trip to Germany in mid to late January, planning on flying into Frankfurt and staying for 2 weeks near Spangdalim? I don't know where that is, but if it's... what part? Hit me up in Discord. Let me know what's going on with that. Funny. This dude's got some Bee Gees hair going on. Blonde and feathery. With that mustache? He did have a mustache, right? Let me go to a light. The chin is what threw me off. I was told when drawing females to make more angular slim chin, males are more square, so the texture could effectively be on both geos. I think there are all types of faces out there. Do I have a mustache and a beard or not? Damn it. Okay, whatever. We'll go with it. Hey, Stoic. Thank you for 12 months. G'day. How did you know we had an Australian in chat? You could sense it? Alright, so... Beats of War. Ollie was playing a bard with my Necro. If that VOD's not up, I'll make sure that VOD gets up. Ollie was duoing with my Necro, and dude, it was a lot of fun. Bard seemed pretty powerful. I haven't really played the Bard in our game yet. I only played a Bard to 26 on P99. Spangdalim or Spangdalim is like a 3-hour drive west of Frankfurt. It's where American Air Base is. Sister-in-law lives there. We'll have a rental car though. Oh, badass! It's a small country. Let me know if you're around. Like I said, hit me up in slide into my DMs in Discord. I'm so used to playing other classes that it's... Why is it so dark? Well, you know, because it's night and I don't have a torch. C-Jack! Thank you for 200 bits. Which is probably like 50 bucks in Australian dollars, so that's actually very generous of you. You gotta hit the hype train when it's up. Yeah, but you're in... Oh, that's true. So 50 to 50... No. I don't even know how to do the math on it. Oh shit. Oh jeez. Oh god. I'm not even gonna make it to the guards. This is what happens when you don't pay attention in our game. Oh. What was the sound? What sound just came up? It sounded like a drawer closing or something. That was the sound of me dying. And as you can see now, I am in my death shroud. That way I don't have to reappear without my clothes on. Yeah, that was a crunchy death. Yeah, so CJax in Sweden. So 200 bits would actually be... If you're out at a restaurant, it would be like 1/3 of a beer. 1/5 to 1/6 of a long drink. And if you hit the Systembolaget, then you can get closer to almost a beer. I like to drink. It's one... She said, it's 1/5 of sweet fuck all. Yeah, it's basically 1/5 to 1/6 of anything. Stockholm is pricey. Here's the crazy thing. So, I complained about Stockholm being expensive. And we moved back to Germany and prices are like normal again and all this good stuff. I complained about Stockholm being expensive the whole time I was there. And then when we visited, Death Shroud could be more revealing. I don't know. It could be. That's not the kind of game we're making. Or maybe I'm just thinking that revealing means something else. So I was like, Stockholm is super expensive. And then we went to Austin and visited Austin because Jasmine had never been there and I needed to take care of some stuff while I was there. So we visited Austin, Texas for a week. Got COVID immediately and wound up basically just not really getting out. But the... Oh, let me play my song. Oops, I clicked. Austin is as expensive as Stockholm, if not more. I was blown away at how pricey shit was in Austin. I was just like, what in the world? Bard feels broken already. Oh no, I just got the crap smacked out of me. Okay, I need to run again. Thought about moving back to Austin. It's like California price. It's ridiculous. I mean, I like Austin well enough, but yeah, I lived there. I moved in 2015 and I lived in the Domain before I left, and we went back and it was just like, oh, it was just not stellar. But the night that we actually got to go out and enjoy a bit of Austin, Jasmine really liked it. It was a lot of fun. We just got the crud for a couple days after that. So the Shroud prevents guard aggro. Can you flash to pull? That might be feasible when we get that functionality in, but currently it doesn't prevent guard aggro. It's just, that's future looking. Lived in Riata for $700 a month from 2009 to 2011. It's like $1,800 now for the same place. Yeah, I lived in Riata for like the first year, 6 months that we when we moved from San Diego to Austin. I lived in Riata as well. And then our condo in San Diego sold and we were able to get our house in Austin. Sabo said, I live in Oslo. It's expensive for tourists, but for us, it's normal relative to our wages. So for us, the rest of the world is cheap. Not to brag or anything, but somebody's making a grip of cash. Got all that oil money. Norway's like, Greta, shut up. Shut up, Greta. Does Shaded Dunes work again? Ollie, it does not. I have had 2 characters eaten. Two of my characters are stuck in Shaded Dunes. I'm playing a bard for the first time. Code Matt Thor? Code. I'm just gonna call you Matt. Matt said this feels like the next Final Fantasy 11. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. I like it. I like what you're saying to us. Yeah, Ali. Find out why Shaded Dunes is in league with Noel. EQ, Dayak, Final Fantasy 11 have a baby. That was one heck of a party. Eminem, let me tell you about your fathers. And UO. There's a bit of swig in here as well, I think. Somebody saw something recently and I was like, oh, maybe it was Ollie when we were in the desert and I had like my tan on or whatever. It was when Ollie and I were playing together. And somebody was like, it was giving them Star Wars Galaxies vibe. My goal is to cite as many of the games that people think we look like as possible as a very weak means of protecting us from any one cease and desist. AO is the cousin. It's true. I do kind of look... I do kind of like if I zoom out enough, it looks like I got cornrows, which is kind of cool. I'm like fantasy game riffraff. Oh shit, why did I start a fight? I've got no health. Oh my god. I do think our mobs are too slow, Ollie. Nick's been saying that for a while, right? Soy asked, hi, what is the name of the game engine? We are using Unity. U-N-I-T-Y. Unity. Man, I can't wait till we get some little dust swirls. Get some little dust swirls going across the screen. Maybe some mirage shimmer. Because when it's like when it's noon is like the least sort of you know, like there's it's the flattest lighting. I mean, you know, it's even if you're near like a tree or something, the shadows are kind of short. It's just, and so during the day it would be awesome if there's, yeah, like little dust dervishes, little dust coming across, and maybe little shimmers and some shit like that. Maybe we increase, it would be cool if our weather system increases the probability of there being like a dust storm during the day. Dusk is beautiful. Dawn is beautiful. Nighttime is awesome. During the day, it just needs some things to mix it up a little bit. So that will be a thing to remember. I am gonna, Jackal Pup, what are you? You know what? Some distance haze, yeah. Oh, let me get the skeleton actually. Come here, you little loot pinata, you. What are you holding? What do you got in your hand? Soy says, I'm developing an RPG, but 2D. Unity is for many people, and I work alone. What are you using? Yeah. Stop it. Okay. I'm winning this fight. Oh shit. I'm gonna win. Son, I am playing Beats of War. You cannot take me on when I'm playing Beats of War. Am I already out of space? I am. Cool. Pup did get destroyed. That's what he gets for being so aggressive. I trained him. The CJX said noon looks bad IRL too, though. Yeah, that's true. Most of my description was not about our noon. It was about noon in general. I'm a bit of a photographer for my... Fuck. I can't even make the joke now because I can't even say the word photographer. I'm a bit of a... Yeah, so I'm a bit of a photographer. Why is photographer now kicking my ass? I'm a bit of a photographer myself. And noon always sucked. Consider making it less summer so the sun cuts a more sideways line through the sky. Ideally, we have that all be kind of dynamic so it changes position, and that is part of our seasons. Noon isn't that bad for fuck. Noon is not that bad for photography. Just have to work with it. I wasn't that good of a photographizer. I mainly shot MMA photos. I really liked shooting photos of people punching each other. To me, it was the best. Yeah, seasons are a part of our fancy backlog list. But we've got some wild people on the team, like Ollie, who actually try to make shit like that happen. Let's see, what is there? I can find a good one. You like photos of people punching each other? I think we have our explanation for null. Yeah, I'm fairly simple in that regard. Trying to see if I could find you. I can't. Yeah, so maybe I'll show you a photo or two one day. When Vice first put out Fightland, I had an article in there with my photos in it. I was pretty amped. The CJX says I mostly take photos of like corners of buildings or piles of trash in the street. That's pretty artsy. Oh man, that bat got me. Justin said, got a serious question. Has there been a discussion about players having illusions for fun or faction? Yeah, we've actually talked about illusions for fun and for faction. Would be neat if there's certain flowers you need for trade skills only appear in night in the desert. We have that capability. And we use it in both our mud actions and our spawning. Let me look at the database. Do resource nodes support that? I really haven't messed with harvest nodes much. Illusions for fun and profit. Harvest node. Actually, we don't have it on there, so Ollie will have to put that on. But it's one of those quick things for Ollie to do. I'll speak for Ollie on that. Viral Ostrich said, this is my first time hearing about Monsters and Memories. I'm excited to see how things go. Well, join us in our Discord if you haven't already. Check out our website. And you can watch like 120 or 130 of these VODs on YouTube. If you get super bored over the holidays. Illusions for fun and profit. Or, if you make yourself look like a religious wise man, illusions for fun and profit. I see what you did there. There is nothing wrong with a pun. Nicodemus said, it's the minor attention to details that make a game feel real. In the TV series Westworld, Anthony Hopkins' character as the game designer has a monologue early on that was sort of my mantra for tabletop RPGs. That dude, the first 2 seasons is some of the best television. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. The 3rd season, I couldn't finish. It felt kind of garbagey, and then that means I've never seen the 4th season. But the first 2 seasons are amazing. You could put the first 2 seasons right along all 5 seasons of The Wire in terms of like, or Band of Brothers, shit that I would just watch multiple times. You're a very funny woman. We'll be the judge of that. Yeah. Nicodemus said, I felt a kindred spirit to Anthony's character. Yep. Game creators, dungeon masters. It makes a lot of sense. Hey, Mantis Boxer. Let me go sell some crap. I got some crap to sell. What's the damage? Oh man, even without doing a quest, I'm almost level I'm almost level 2. How long did that take me? I've played for 23 minutes and I'm almost level 2. Interesting. That is a bit fast. That's faster than it's felt before. I wonder if we made an adjustment to something. Frostfell happens today in EverQuest 2. Gonna see if I can decorate a crack house of Freeport and flip it. That sounds like a fun mini game. That sounds nice, Justin. The cook will buy my animal bits. What's my so this is 533. Alright, let's go ahead and destroy this. Equip this. The note turning gave you like 1/5 of the level, you believe? I didn't turn in the note this time. I've yet to turn in my note. That was a previous character. It's a good, it would have been a good catch, but... You saw the bar move too? But I didn't turn in the note. Okay. I thought, I'm gonna follow this guy because, in theory, by following him, I might get ambushed, and I want to see if that's the case. What's he doing over here? I thought I shortened that pause quite a bit. Did selling give me experience? No. Justin said, I was actually on Evercraft online the other night and forgot to turn in the note to the Fighters Guild, and I died to a spider and couldn't find the body. So that tune lasted 5 minutes. Yeah. Mantis said, I was curious, was this game thought about or born out of doing the interviews with the other EQ devs you did a couple years ago? So it came about because I was playing a fair bit of EQ, and then we started talking about what we liked about the old style of games, and then the more the dev interviews that I did, the more we kind of talked about, again, what's different between games back in the day and now. And then more and more we started talking about how much knowledge is out there about the way that the old games were made. You know, we've got a lot of talented people in the emulator communities and stuff like that. And so the more we talked about it, the more it was kind of like, maybe it's an idea, you know, let's see what we can do. Business. Oh, there it is. There's the ambush about to happen. Oh, shit. Oh, what's going on here? There's something with the Geo. This is like a fight in South Park. This is a South Park fight. Oh my god. Yeah, of course I leveled on that fight. That was the most epic fight. Holy guacamole. I'm gonna leave that alone now. I got my cultists. I don't know why that was happening. But yeah, so to your question, Mantis. Oh, let me try something new. Is there a... Oh, I haven't. Oh god, there's a whole interface. All right, I'm not even gonna screw with it. I was like, I think I can highlight it. Ah, pushing all the buttons. Reminds me of the Philadelphia experiment where the sailor supposedly became part of the ship the government was experimenting with invisibility. Yeah, Belfaster. That was a strange moment just then. Yeah, so we talked about it a bunch. My previous 3 companies that I worked at made games for sort of... Hold on one second. Let me see what the dog's barking at. All right. Delivery. About the only time he barks. Anyway, the last, like, 3 companies I worked at, made products that were for more specific, I would say, kind of, excuse me, non-traditional audiences in a sense, or made non-traditional MMOs. King's Isle, it was kids MMOs, which isn't necessarily a small niche. It's pretty big, but if you think about getting kids on a PC and blah, blah, blah. But they did extremely well. When I was at Big Point, I worked on a Flash-based PvP, formerly pay-to-win space game that had, like, very little content in it. And it made a decent amount of money even after, like, 8 years or whatever. And then I worked at a company in Sweden that makes an online horse adventure game for girls. That's an MMO that's actually super cool. When it was first pitched to me, I was like, huh? First of all, why would they want a old tattoo man there? And then second of all, really? But then once I actually met the people at the company and stuff, I was like, oh, this is super damn cool. And again, it was a PC-based MMORPG that's really kind of got a bit of a old school vibe to it in terms of gameplay and UX and all that other stuff. And they've done really well. And so when I started thinking about the idea of like, I've always been a fan. I've known people that have owned like skateboard companies and stuff in the past, and they stayed very sort of core and very niche. And you know, the idea started sort of coming together of what if we made a very old school feeling game using new tools and a lot of hindsight, and cherry picked from some of the games that we liked and sort of looked at concepts going all the way back to like CRPGs and oh, there's the crazy door. CRPGs and MUDs and all of that stuff, and just started pulling it in and made like a big nostalgia fest of like an MMO for a very core audience. And then if other people like it, great. But it's easy for us to stay focused because we're making a very core game. And that's how this bad boy got going. So, you know, and it's one of those things where if you look at it, we keep the team small. we try to get the game out and live and just grow the game once it's live as soon as possible. We spend the entire time because the idea for the game came from us talking about it on stream. So we're like, we'll just stream the whole process. We'll answer questions that people have as we go. So like if you go into our Discord or whatever and you have a question, we'll answer it. We'll be very open. That'll help us build up our core audience, we hope. It'll help people see that we're not full of shit. We're not doing smoke and mirrors. We're not doing demos to trick you or anything other stuff that I've had to do at companies in the past, right? And then we'll get feedback from everybody in real time, just like before we started. Yeah, and so that's basically what we've been doing for the last 2 years. If you go to our YouTube and look at the 2-year retrospective, you'll see, oh wow, I just went through it again and again. That's new. That wasn't happening before. Huh. Oh, and now the bats, his corpse is just sliding off. Weird things are going on. How is Eminem funded? It is self-funded, and we have spent, in the last 2 years, we have spent basically 40 grand. Went through, looked at it, put it all together. And so it's basically, we've self-funded it, and we've been able to do it because we currently have 14 people on the team, and everybody's doing it as a bit of a, like, I was going to say side hustle, but that's not the best way to say it. Everybody's doing it as a passion project. Most of the team have other jobs and stuff. And so, yeah, so their willingness to donate their time, but still treat it as a pretty serious project. As you can see with our updates, those of you that have come in later in the stream, earlier in the stream, we just kind of went through the update. You can find it on our website. The latest updates just went out like day before yesterday or something. So it's this update here. Go to the updates page, check it out, look at the old ones as well. And yeah, and so will we do a Kickstarter ever? Well, never say never, but that's not really the plan at the moment. Like what I think we'd be really stoked to be able to get this thing out the door without having to take cash. I think that would be a hell of an accomplishment. But we would probably look at getting a relatively small version of the game out and then continue to expand the world as essentially time goes on as part of our live updates through just like free expansions. And then what we'd be asking for in return is that the people that are early adopters and come in early, sort of appreciate the scope of the world that we're able to give at the beginning, understand that there's going to be the rest of the world as we go, and be willing to sort of hang in there with us. And, if they play through all the content or whatever, roll an alt, come back, just be a part of the community. And then we'll just charge a regular subscription. When we charge subscription, I do think we're going to also allow people to donate on top of that. But it will never be for anything in game. The only way you get stuff in our game is just to play the game. So that's kind of the thought, and then buy some merch and shit like that, and then we'll be good. That's the thought. So we're really pushing to try to get to that point where we could do that sooner rather than later. If for some reason we just think it makes sense to get funding, do crowdfunding, whatever, then we'll reevaluate that. But for now, that's kind of the idea. Yeah, I mean, we've tried to be as cool as possible. We've given, like in theory, somebody. Oh my gosh. When the NPC walks through that gate, it just goes crazy. Nicodemus said, looking forward to being 80, retired, and full GM in M&M waiting for next expansion. Well, hopefully we can make that a reality for you sooner than 80. Yeah, so, yeah. Yep. Guys, it is actually 5:21. I need to hop off here and get ready for dinner. Oh, and because it's St. Nicholas Day, I've got some candy and stuff that I actually want to start consuming before dinner. Don't tell Jasmine. I'm going to eat one of these real quick. I will be back on Thursday. Those of you that are new here, if you like what you saw, check out the links, right? Check out our VODs, join our mailing list, hit us up in Discord. And Purple Battle Mage, thank you for the follow. And then come back Thursday, hang out. Same sort of bat time. I stream from 2 p.m. Central European time to 5 p.m. Now it's 5:22, but 5 p.m. Central European time, which is, what, 6 hours ahead of Eastern? So you guys, you are welcome for me streaming. Thank you for being here. Albius, love you too, guy. Hopefully this Christmas season isn't too brutal on you delivery-wise. Takaj, see you. Ventali, see you Thursday. BDC Retro, see you again Thursday. I don't know where I was going with that. Bliatzkabal, you're very welcome. Nosvidania? No. I forget how to say it. John, see you, buddy. Code, Matt Zor, see you. Justin, see you, bud. Bye, John. Bye, Swanee. I'll keep an eye out for DM. It is 11:20 on the East Coast now, so East Coast, what a bit. So I started like 8. Let's see. Hell's Ridge, see you. Rev, see you. Nicodemus, bye-bye. Dasvidanya. Yeah, okay, cool. BGFX, see you. Maybe see you in Discord. Let me know if you got an update for us. Tadvik, goodbye. Is that everybody? Because if so, then I'm going to get out of here. My dog really wants to go pee, and I will see you Thursday.